They won't say it out loud, but when you walk in the room, something inside them shifts. Their energy tightens, their spirit fidgets, because light like yours isn't just seen, it's felt. It exposes what's been hiding in their shadow. And deep down, they know it. The dark doesn't fear words. The dark doesn't fear strength. The dark fears light, because it has no defense against it. You've been wondering why certain people avoid you, why they act strange, as if your very presence disturbs something in them. You're not paranoid. You're perceptive. What they call too intense is actually a pure vibration they cannot match. And when the frequency of light steps into the frequency of darkness, it's not a battle. The darkness begins to tremble, because it remembers that light doesn't fight shadows. It simply shines and makes them disappear. Some of the most spiritually heavy energies are dressed in calm faces. They'll smile, they'll laugh. But when you show up, they're uncomfortable, not because you've done anything wrong, but because the purity of your soul threatens the illusions they've built their identity upon. The masks they wear start to crack. Their shadows panic. Their demons whisper, "Get away from them." What you carry inside of you is ancient. It's not just spiritual, it's divine. It's royal. It's God-assigned. And that's why it intimidates even the strongest forces of darkness. You see, darkness operates in disguise. It thrives in confusion, deception, and silence. But your light exposes. Your energy makes people confront themselves, and not everyone is ready for that confrontation. They'll label you, misunderstand you, try to dim your presence. But don't be fooled. This has nothing to do with who you are on the outside. This isn't about looks, status, or noise. This is about your essence, your very being. There's a war in the unseen. And every time you show up, that war reacts to your presence. Some people see you and feel peace. Others feel pressure. That's because your vibration either heals them or reveals them. You may not know the depth of your own glow, because light never sees itself, it just shines. But I promise you, every spiritual force in the room knows exactly who you are. That's why some doors shut when you approach. That's why certain people grow cold the moment you speak truth. That's why atmospheres shift when you say nothing at all. You're not ordinary. You're a divine disruptor. The darkness fears being exposed, and you, without trying, are an exposure. You are clarity. You are truth in motion. That's why you're attacked, isolated, and underestimated. But the more they try to bury your light, the more fiercely it shines through. The more you are rejected, the more spiritually protected you become. Because here's the thing about divine light. It doesn't beg to be seen. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't scream for attention. It simply illuminates. And when you illuminate, you don't need to convince the dark to leave. It leaves on its own. People who are secretly battling spiritual darkness will always feel uneasy around those who carry divine light. Not because you've wronged them, but because your presence triggers the war within them. And that war wants to stay hidden. It wants to go unchallenged. But when your light walks in, its cover is blown. Some people carry demons, and they don't even know it. Some carry envy, hatred, jealousy, fear, all masked behind polite smiles. But your energy doesn't listen to masks. It feels what's real. That's why you can walk into a room and instantly feel heaviness. It's not in your head. It's in your spirit. You're discerning energy that doesn't match your vibration. You were never sent here to fit in. You were sent here to be a mirror, to reflect truth in a world full of illusions. That's why they try to hide from you. That's why they talk behind your back. That's why the moment you shine, people suddenly have a problem. It's not you they're reacting to. It's the confrontation your light brings. You remind them of everything they're not willing to deal with. You remind them of the parts they've buried, the truth they've avoided, the healing they've postponed. You are not just a person. You are a wake-up call. And that's terrifying to someone who wants to stay asleep. The dark doesn't need chaos to survive. It just needs silence. But your light breaks that silence. It speaks volumes, even when you say nothing. It questions what's fake. It reveals what's hidden. And no matter how much darkness tries to dress itself up, it can't compete with the raw, unfiltered purity that flows from your soul. You are not here to dim. You are not here to shrink. You are not here to be polite to darkness. You are here to shine, even if it makes demons tremble, even if it makes people walk away, even if it means standing alone, because you are chosen, and the chosen carry fire, not to burn people, but to cleanse, not to hurt, but to heal, and not everyone is ready for that. The truth is, your light carries authority, and authority threatens spirits that want control, spirits that feed on fear, confusion, and manipulation. But when you show up, authentic, aligned, anointed, those spirits panic, because their grip weakens in the presence of truth. So if you've been wondering why certain people shift when you're near, stop wondering. You're not imagining it. It's not a coincidence. You are simply witnessing the unseen react to what can't be faked. Pure divine light. And the dark always trembles before it flees. And yet, despite all of this, you've doubted yourself. You've questioned why you feel so isolated, why people keep falling off, why you can't seem to hold on to what others call normal. But what if I told you that's proof of your assignment? That's confirmation of your calling. Because light doesn't walk with just anyone. It walks with purpose, and purpose attracts pressure. They aren't rejecting you. They're rejecting the vibration that exposes their hidden wounds. You're not being ignored. You're being protected. Because some people were never meant to walk with you. They would have contaminated your clarity. They would have dimmed your brilliance. You were meant to carry something they could never understand. And that misunderstanding was part of your shield. Don't mourn the rooms that couldn't hold you. Don't grieve the friendships that couldn't survive your glow. Because when you shine from the soul, you don't need the crowd. You only need alignment. And alignment will always attract what is true, while repelling what is fake. That's why your circle keeps shrinking. That's why the path gets lonelier. Because as your light increases, only those who carry truth can walk beside you. There's a sacred strength in being misunderstood. It means your frequency is higher than the noise. It means your mission is deeper than appearances. It means you were never created to entertain darkness, but to overcome it. And the more you embrace that truth, the more unstoppable you become. You weren't sent here to blend in. You are a disruptor of deception, and that kind of calling doesn't come with comfort. It comes with resistance. But resistance is not rejection. It's refinement. Every time they doubted you, you got clearer. Every time they left you, you got stronger. Every time the door slammed, your light expanded. You weren't sent here for approval. You were sent here for impact, and impact shakes foundations. It rattles cages. It disturbs systems that were never rooted in truth. You are an agent of divine correction. And while the world may not celebrate you, the heavens recognize you. The battle you're fighting isn't personal, it's spiritual. And every tremble you cause in darkness is a sign. You are walking in your power. So stay lit, stay aligned, stay unapologetically radiant, because you are not done yet. What's ahead of you is not just breakthrough, it's divine eruption. A season where the darkness that tried to destroy you will finally be forced to acknowledge your light, not through praise, not through apology, but through defeat, because everything that stood against you will fall when faced with the purity of your soul. There is a shift happening even now. The spiritual realm is watching. Angels are guarding. And those who mock your glow are about to witness a level of elevation they cannot sabotage. Because light doesn't need revenge, it only needs time. And your time is unfolding. There are people who once looked down on you who will now look up to you, not because you wanted validation, but because truth always rises. And what rises cannot be hidden. You will rise, not with arrogance, but with authority. because this was never about being better. It was always about being chosen. There will be moments where your own reflection surprises you, where you finally see what God placed in you, and the pain you walked through will suddenly make sense. The betrayals, the loneliness, the spiritual warfare, it all shaped you, not to weaken you, but to refine your fire. Because now your light doesn't just shine, it pierces. It doesn't just illuminate rooms, it transforms atmospheres. You've become a vessel that carries divine presence, and the world can no longer ignore you. Even the forces that tried to silence you are now trembling in regret, not because you fought back, but because you stood tall, because you didn't bend, because you remained faithful to your light, even when it was costly. And now, that faithfulness is speaking louder than any noise ever could. You don't owe explanations. You don't owe clarity to confusion. What you carry will be recognized by those who were meant to recognize it. The rest will watch in silence. They'll watch as your path unfolds, as your light grows brighter, and as every lie spoken against you collapses under the weight of truth. There's no need to clap back, no need to defend what is divine. The dark can't compete, it can only react, and it's already reacting. Every plot formed against you has already been reversed. Every trap set for you is becoming the same pit your enemies fall into. Because light doesn't chase shadows, it lets the shadows run. You are walking into a season of spiritual justice, where everything you lost will return multiplied, where your tears become testimonies, where your silence becomes strategy, where your glow becomes undeniable. The world will try to distract you, to dim you, to make you believe that your power is too much. But the truth is, your not enoughs were always lies. You were never too intense. You were never too much. You were simply ahead of your time. Now is that time. Walk boldly. Speak truth. Shine unfiltered. You are not here to survive the dark. You are here to end it. And the tremble you cause in the unseen is your confirmation. The more it shakes, the more you know you're walking in divine authority. The dark feared your potential. Now it fears your power. Because you're no longer becoming the light. You are the light. And nothing can stop what God placed in you.